Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to the Tiki Taka podcast, where you're going to hear hot takes, unbiased opinions, and hopefully have a couple laughs along the way.
Yes.
And we've had another weekend of Premier League football, and I would describe it as eye-opening for some. Some teams collecting teams collecting the 3 points in injury time. Some teams have players scoring 4 goals, and some teams just don't believe in their manager anymore. And there's no better place to start than Eric Ten Hag's Man United getting beat 3-0 at Old Trafford by Tottenham.
Do you know what's funny? Before you go on, obviously, those who've listened to the pod, we've been here before in terms of like Eric Ten Hag cook sessions. This one, it won't be as bad, I think, as some that have come before.
And we've cooked.
We've had almost some 3-hour sessions.
The
cooking Ten Hag.
After De Zerbi went there last year, we cooked Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
After one of our podcast titles, which has one of the most views, is Ten Hag and Poch out, which was after Gibbs White.
Yeah.
Right, in the Nottingham Forest goal, the dagger. And we've cooked Ten Hag big time for a lot of stuff. But today, the United fans have been doing it for us.
Yeah, everyone. Pundits, players, anybody associated with the club is in disgust. And my biggest thing, and this is like obviously easy to say now, but my biggest thing is how Man United fans, or how a lot of Man United fans didn't see this coming.
It's how the United fans that backed Ten Hag before Sunday's game, then after Sunday's game can just come out and say, we're not going anywhere. There's no signs of progress. Like, how can you go that
so
far
quickly?
Like, if you're backing him 1 week, surely, even if you decide that you might just say, "Oh, I can't see this working for Ten Hag." It doesn't seem like. But now they're really just saying that he has not got any of the facilities to cope in this league.
I just think it's a culmination of a lost fan base with like a club that also has a lost. How do I say it?
They're losing, or probably have lost already, that mega club status that Man United are supposed to have.
Yeah, they're definitely like doing their hardest to throw it away.
Yeah, like everyone talks about, or people have been, even Man United fans have been saying this week that Real Madrid and Barcelona wouldn't put up with this, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not one to. I don't think Man United are on the same level as a club like Real Madrid or even Barcelona.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But they're probably next up, right? The biggest club in England and everything else that goes with that, and to allow what they've been allowing for the last, and for Man United fans to be on board with it has been shameful.
I just think the goals of the club, like the goal you would say is to like get top 4, probably get a trophy. Last season they finished 8th, but they did get a trophy. And this fracture where we are right now, I think is so much because of the weight that some of the fans put on the trophy versus the club as well. And like Man United last season had their worst Premier League season ever, but they won a trophy.
Yeah.
And this is why we're in the situation right now where fans were saying, give him a year, give him another year, all the circumstances, ride the storm, all of this kind of stuff that was being said.
Yep.
Versus the fans who were like, yo, this is not going to change next season just because we won an FA Cup. Yeah. So speaking to the other set of fans, who were like, who thought that potentially Ten Hag could kick on or thought that he could get some sort of consistency. Do you know what? As much as it's obviously funny to laugh at them now, during the summer window, they were probably feeling more and more validated in their decision. The Xerxes signings, the De Ligt signings, Masraoui came in. They probably thought money's been spent. Ten Hag's been backed. Like, this is the kick-on season.
Yep.
So
it has to be.
So to be here now talking about a 3-0 loss to Tottenham at their home stadium at OT, man, it's as you said, the most eye-opening, interaction, or my eye-opening results that could have come from this weekend, that could have come from Man United fans. It feels like civil war out there for United fans. Everybody's talking about who's a truer United fan, who's more of a United fan than somebody else, or because I thought this 6 months ago.
The Ten Hag outers are saying, "I told you so."
And the Ten Hag in guys are saying,
we're all Man United fans. Like, yeah, you can do that. I told you so, but
Ten Hag guys are saying you don't support the club if you don't back the manager. If we win games, you shouldn't support his wins as well. If you want him out, and I'm just like, bro, this is messy. This is very, very, very messy.
Yeah. I think it's an interesting one to talk about, because where obviously us as Arsenal fans or rival fans or whatever, but even if you take the bias hat off and stuff, where do you draw the line with Eric Ten Hag and just say, yeah, this is it now? For any fan in any situation with their manager, even West Ham fans with Lopetegui, Palace fans with Glasner, and we'll talk about them, but where do you draw the line and say this like, if Ten Hag loses the next 2 games, is that enough? Is it already
I know where I
draw the line.
I draw the line, and just to bring it back to the game, I draw the line in the first 25, 30 minutes. That's where I draw the line of this fixture that's just gone by.
So after that, in your mind, there's no way Ten Hag gets anything more from this.
I think
this is the maximum Ten Hag's got.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at this, say from a Man United fans' point of view, like, we already have 2 losses into the season. We've just come off coming into this game, we've already had 2 losses into the season. Just come off a frustrating draw with Crystal Palace, which we thought we was the better team. We've got Tottenham at home.
Yeah.
Teams are
to FC20.
All these other teams have given us the blueprint on how to beat Tottenham, on what we need to do to beat Tottenham. Yeah. And this isn't even Tottenham away. It's not Tottenham at their place where, their fans could fans could be up for it. It's easy for Kulu and these guys to have a good game at home for X, Y, and Z reason. This is at OT. This is with 90%, 95% of Ten Hag's strongest lineup or favorite players or combination players that he wants to put together. And man, that first 30 minutes, that first 40 minutes,
terrible.
But I don't think terrible is the right word. Like,
look, the biggest indictment I can give on the game is that our mate Rao, who's in our group chat, doesn't watch football. Literally came on the group chat and said he might watch 10 minutes of the Super Sunday game every week, and that's about it. He never watches football. He watched Man United for 10 minutes and said in the chat, "Oh, United always this diabolical."
Yeah, man.
And that's someone who doesn't watch United. We watch United week in, week out. We kind of know what to expect. But the fact that someone who doesn't really watch football can watch Man United for 10 minutes and have that opinion, that is damning.
The reason I would say I'll draw the line under that, the first 25, 40 minutes, maybe there is a bit of bias because I'm an Arsenal fan. Like, I would say it's akin to a derby game, but almost better in the fact, because Man City are Man United's actual derby rivals. Yeah, Man City, very good team. If you get bossed around by Man City in the first 30 minutes, whatever, everybody's been there, type of thing. Yeah, this is one of those games where it's like, we can get a win over a Big Six rival that could boost the whole season, boost the fan base.
Big Six rival.
Boost the fan base, boost the players, boost the media, just boost everything in and around the club. Yeah. If we start right, if we get a good result here, the
reaction on Ten Hag now would have been Ange.
Exactly. Not that all the misdemeanors, the 2 losses, the frustrating draw to Crystal Palace would have been washed away, but fans would have said, you know what, they would have made up excuses as to why they could have held those results, but we're going in the right direction. If Man United as a team, if Ten Hag as a manager can't get up to beat Tottenham at home, can't get up to put in a fight,
and Tottenham, they don't do well away from home if you put up a fight. 6 sides.
Yes. Especially
that's a known thing. That's not us like just bantering Tottenham.
Yeah, that's my point.
That's a known thing.
That's my point. Especially if if we show any sort of desire here, if we put any sort of set piece into the right area, Tottenham could collapse.
Yeah.
Tottenham could capitulate.
The only kind of leeway I give in that game is that, and I said this after the game, and it won't matter for a United fan, and it shouldn't matter for a United fan, because you were abysmal before Bruno Fernandes gets sent off. But if Bruno doesn't get sent off, I don't think Man United lose the game. I think that there's Old Trafford tax. There's something that happens, and they go and get a point or whatever. But Tottenham will bottle it.
I only think that because I think Tottenham will bottle it more than Man United would.
Yeah, 100%.
Win 100%. The game, because as you say, before the Bruno got sent off, Tottenham should still have been 4-0 up.
So for a United fan, you can't. I don't want to hear that.
I just the biggest indictment for me on Ten Hag is like just the players, or just the game plan. I don't know how he can't harness his players to put together his game plan. Yeah. And even Ole, even all of these managers, Ten Hag has a bit of it in terms of like turning out a result when he needs a result. This would have been one of those days to get it right, to get a game plan in
Where's
order.
the Old Trafford juice gone? 3-0 at home to Liverpool, 3-0 at home to Tottenham. They've scored 1 goal at Old Trafford. Like, you're talking about Ten Hag, and I was going to ask you this. How many coaches or managers in the Premier League do you think are worse than Ten Hag? Name them.
I think there's probably...
Because I wouldn't even be prepared to say Russell Martin and Kieran McKenna.
Even I'm looking at Steve Cooper and I'm like, is he...
Steve Cooper kept Forest up. He did all right.
He might actually get tune out of...
Did all right. Well, we're not talking about Marco Silva.
Do you know what? I'll say this. I actually don't think Ten Hag is the worst manager in the league. I just think that Ten Hag...
He's bottom 5, though.
Will never get it right with Man United.
He is bottom 5, though. He's a bad coach, bro.
He is a bad coach.
We said yesterday, what job does Ten Hag get after
No,
this?
he is Villarreal. That's the only job I can see him getting after this.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only job.
I don't know if Villarreal will do that.
But and it's not because Villarreal are like... it's just because Villarreal are always looking to...
We saw it with Oli.
Oli didn't get another job.
Everyone used to tell me that Oli would get a job at like...
but Oli was a joke.
8th place. But what?
Oli's a joke too.
Ten Hag's been worse than Oli. I know he's won the 2 trophies, but Oli finished
That's the
second.
thing. That's what Ten Hag will put on his resume.
Oli finished second.
Yeah.
You just been saying that the trophies mask the
this
stuff.
This is literally my whole point about the United thing is United have gone from, obviously with the Fergie thing, they were a league team. They could over 38 games be the best team in the country. Yeah. With Ten Hag, they've gone from being a league team to a cup team. United, if Ten Hag was to stay this season all the way to the end, which I know he won't. Yeah, but if he was, I would say Man United would finish anywhere between 9th and 7th if they were like 7th if almost everything went right. Yeah. That's where Ten Hag will have them in the league. But he might... I don't even think he'll get a Carabao Cup this season or anything this season. But in the past, he's shown to get a trophy. And I think this is my whole point about United being lost is some United fans would take a trophy this season to mask all the stuff, all the 600 million that they've spent again. Whether Zirkzee is going to be a good player, whether Mount is going to come good, whether Højlund is going to come good, whether all these questions that they have, a lot of fans, I feel, who Man United fans would take a trophy to mask that up again. Yeah.
With Ten Hag.
I
don't know if we're just talking about civil war in the fan base, guys.
But there's still Ten Hag inners. That's why Cam's is saying
they will be Ten Hag inners if he finishes 14th. the people that are still Ten Hag inners are genuinely just like...
But they've got to weigh up, Man United fans, the club themselves, the board, the Ineos, all these guys, they've got to weigh up how much value do we place even another lucky FA Cup, or maybe not, maybe it wasn't luck, even another FA Cup, another Carabao Cup versus finishing 7th to 9th or 9th to 7th.
Yeah. I mean, they can't. Regardless
That's
of
the
whether he
question.
wins a trophy, if he finishes there, he will get sacked. United.
We should have said that. We would have said that last year. That's where we finished.
Man United just had the worst Premier League.
That's my point.
Of their entire
and they kept
history.
the manager. And fans were saying we should keep the manager.
If they go and finish 7th again, under the
marginal improvement.
Marginal improvement, right? That's not what big Man United should be doing.
That's not what they should be doing. But that's
7th place is a sacking.
That's not.
Ten Hag.
That's
the way he got backed. The players he has, he should be making top 4. Right, so 7th place. I said this, bro. On the marginal improvement.
I said this at the beginning of when we were doing the pre-season pods and all this stuff about how there's no excuses for Ten Hag.
Yeah,
but what I'm seeing, trying to analyze the fan base, trying to analyze the club, everybody, it's like this split, this divide between I can't take how bad we are in the league, and maybe we can find a way to win another trophy.
That's just from the Ten Hag inners, though. all the Ten Hag out guys, regardless of the trophy.
Everybody's saying, Cam says all these guys saying, there's no way you can truly believe. There's no way if you have 2 eyes. Every United fan I've listened to has always said, or every United fan who has some sort of knowledge about football has said, there's no way you can truly believe.
Bro, I just said Raul watched the game for 10 minutes. He watched 10 minutes of Ten Hag Man United ball and said, is it like this every week?
It is, man.
He said they couldn't string 4 passes together.
But
Ten Hag's been there for 3 years.
We spoke a bit about this last week in the sense of, or maybe it wasn't on the episode, but just in the sense of like managers, Ten Hag, Man United, how can they waste 5 months? How can they sign him on a new deal and then sack him in October and waste 5 months?
I don't think they're going to sack him yet.
And waste a new. Everybody seems to think the writing is on the wall. I generally think
it's coming, but I don't think it's happening yet. I think after this international break,
I don't think it's going to be.
He'll still be here.
I don't think it's going to be. I think if he loses Porto and Villa,
I think he'll still be here.
I don't know if he can take 3 losses in a row.
He's done it before.
Yeah, but this is meant to be the bounce back year. This is meant to be the no excuses year.
And we got to look at whether Ineos have that replacement lined up.
Southgate,
Van Nistelrooy.
There's still a lot of managed Porto. There's still a lot of managed.
Apparently, Simone Inzaghi's on the short list.
That's what, that doesn't worry me. Simone Inzaghi going to OT.
Yeah, we both rate Inzaghi
very highly.
But the Old Trafford job is just a bit of a poison chalice. And
also, Man United fans will never, I think, learn to love defensive football.
Yeah, Inzaghi will.
It's Conte, it's Jose.
That's why they didn't want Conte.
Yeah, it's Conte, it's Jose. It's, and if all of a sudden Inzaghi's gonna.
But you saw the Thomas Tuchel thing about I love Old Trafford.
Yeah, Thomas Tuchel's not coming to OT. Man United, this. You can't just talk
Tuchel's
to me.
Flirted with that job a lot, even when he was Chelsea manager.
It's not that Tuchel won't come and win things or improve their league position, but we've literally just spoken about what are Man United gonna do. Are you gonna take 9th to 7th and a trophy, but you finish 9th to 7th? Tuchel might finish 4th, 6th to 4th.
Tuchel would get them in a Champions League.
Yeah, some way or somehow. I don't know if you'd do it through league position because I'm still unsure about the squad. Yeah,
I still think Tuchel would do it.
But I think if you was to sign Tuchel, again, you've gone for we're going to win trophies mainly by cups, then really, really focus on competing for the top 2, top 3 positions in the league.
I think Tuchel would be it's like easily kind of top 3 managers in the league.
Yeah, but then you come into the squad thing. Then you come into the 3 years of Ten Hag building. Again, I think that Tuchel building. Is that what Tuchel wants?
With how bad these Man United players are, right, under Ten Hag, I don't think those are actually that level. We saw De Ligt and Mazraoui play Arsenal last year in a 2-legged tie for 180 minutes and not look out of place. Look very solid.
But
in a Tuchel system.
But that's
and De Ligt and Mazraoui are 2 of the guys we're here to kill.
But in knockout football over 2 games, yeah, they can get up for a game. Tuchel can get them up for a game.
Tuchel can raise that level regardless.
I genuinely don't think that even if Tuchel was to come in, it would take Man United, I still think, 2 years
to get top 4.
To be a genuine top 4 team. I don't think.
Not with Thomas Tuchel.
I rate Tuchel highly. But I don't think Tuchel is looking at Man United squad thinking this has the components to be top 4 right now. Look at the top 4 teams. Look at who they're competing against. Give those other guys 2 years.
The only squad, that is really like better than Man United's, other than Arsenal, City, and Liverpool, is Villa. I don't think any of the other teams have better players.
I actually think Chelsea have a better squad than Man United.
No, I think if Tuchel was at Man United, I think we would take the entirety of Man United's back 4 over Chelsea's. I think if Tuchel was at Man United, you take Kobbie Mainoo and Bruno Fernandes.
I actually think Tuchel would rather the profile of the Chelsea players than the Man United. I genuinely think
Tuchel might rather that, but Tuchel with those players would do better than Enzo Maresca with his players.
I can't say that.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in that.
I can't say that. Only because I really don't think over 38 games, even with a good as manager as Tuchel, you can get enough out of that midfield or enough goals up top.
No, but Tuchel's just levels and levels above Maresca.
Yeah, but then it comes down to quality of players.
Yeah, and the quality from Chelsea doesn't.
Then it comes down to quality.
Doesn't shorten the gap between Tuchel.
I don't think that Tuchel comes in and all of a sudden like Rashford and these guys want to start playing football again. We've seen them down tools under every manager.
Not necessarily, but Tuchel could get that. Tuchel could get Rashford ball in.
He could, but I still don't think that necessarily means they become.
I
don't think signing Tuchel means they will improve in the league for sure. It means they'll finish in higher positions than 7th for sure. Mm-hmm. But I don't think that it means all of a sudden Man United squad become a top 4 squad.
I'm not saying it's the top 4 squad, but you're saying 2 years to even challenge for it. I think if Tuchel came Tuchel came in now, they would challenge for it this season.
No, okay. When I say challenge for it, I mean actually probably get it. Like, I don't think Man United will beat out Villa, Liverpool, and Chelsea.
I don't know, man. Maybe I just rate Tuchel.
Yeah, I think you're rating him a bit. Tuchel's a good manager, but he's not been a league manager unless the squad is like that.
Yeah, that is true. But he's not been a league manager in the sense of competing with Pep and Klopp, getting like 90 plus points for a title. He's not been at that level.
Yeah,
right?
But he doesn't need to be to get top 4 in it.
Exactly. So he's comfortably made top 4 before.
But he's also comfortably had better squads than what he will be working with at Manchester United.
Lampard got sacked, and Chelsea were what, 10th, 11th, 12th? And we were looking at the Chelsea squad, a bunch of scrubs here.
No, we weren't saying that.
Yeah, Havertz, Werner, yeah. Mount had just come in the team. Rudiger was nowhere to be seen, wasn't getting any game
But we knew
time.
Rudiger was a good player.
No. We weren't talking about Rudiger.
We knew Rudiger was a good player.
We were talking about Rudiger as a bozo.
No.
Yes, we were. Before Lampard, don't rewrite history. We weren't talking about Rudiger now.
Rudiger was a good player.
Centre-backs in the world.
I remember Rudiger was a good player.
Yo, Aman, if you're listening to this, put this in the comments about
Rudiger was a good player. And then Lampard came in, and Lampard was trying to dash Rudiger out the squad, and everybody was like, "I'm not sure. I'm not really sure if Rudiger should be getting out the squad. I don't know if Rudiger should be asking for 400k a week." And then Lamps left, and Rudiger became the best centre back in the world again.
No. Rudiger was asking for 400k a week when Tuchel was there.
Tuchel brought him to the levels.
Exactly. But
he was good before. He was good,
and that's what Tuchel would do with the Ligt.
Tuchel was good before Lampard came. Lampard came in and did the Lampard thing of, I'm just gonna make
that squad looked horrendous,
and that squad wasn't as bad as this United squad. It wasn't. No.
I think at the time,
it wasn't.
It looked like that. Like that Chelsea team had finished lower than this Man United team, right? They hadn't won the trophy.
Did they?
Team. Yeah, the team before Tuchel was under Lampard. Lampard finished 4th, and then he went and finished. He was like 11th or 12th. Yeah, he was playing awfully. Bro, that Chelsea team was not good, bro.
Yeah, but I would actually still take probably that squad.
That's. But again,
I guess it's also hindsight. They've won things.
We know what that.
Yeah, they've won
Tuchel
things.
literally came in, took a team that was in 12th, and went and won the Champions League.
But that's what they can win. Tuchel can win cup trophies. My whole point is, my whole point is, you're in a situation now where Ten Hag isn't doing the business in the league. In the league, you are the 9th, if you're lucky, 10th best team in the country. Tuchel can come and make you maybe the 5th, the 6th best team in the country with current resources that you have available to you. Yeah, but you're still in a situation where you're not getting to the ultimate goal that Man United fans want. And that's not even winning like Premier Leagues. It's just being a top 3 team in the country, consistently making top 4. Not being on the fringe, worrying every season, are we going to get it together to build up a charge to get to top 4? This is Man United we're talking about.
Came in, yeah. We know where Chelsea were, right? And we're not even talking about trophies now. And Chelsea finished in the top 4. They finished 2 points behind Liverpool, right? And Tuchel didn't get the job till January, right?
Yeah. But you think you could do that with this United squad?
I could not believe he did that with that Chelsea squad.
No. That Chelsea squad is not as bad and as.
Yeah, but I think hindsight's a major part in that, because we know what that Chelsea squad went on to do.
I think
Thomas Tuchel will raise the level 10 times. And we've also got to remember how bad Eric Ten Hag is. Yeah, I think Eric Ten Hag is worse than what Lampard was at Chelsea.
I think Eric Ten Hag's worst trait is his squad building capabilities. I think Tuchel would have the biggest job on his hands, trying to shuffle through the pack and find out who's a good player, who can fit systems.
Tuchel had the Ligt and Mazraoui looking.
In knockout football,
guys are saying Mazraoui looked up.
Bro, in knockout football, I'll never not back Tuchel. I'm talking about. I'm specifically.
I've just told you he finished top 4.
But with what squad? I don't back De Ligt and Mazraoui in this league.
Yeah, but
I don't back De Ligt and Mazraoui,
and he will raise the level of those guys.
If you're giving me
every single, if you're giving me
Chilwell and Rudiger to turn into good players over De Ligt and Mazraoui, I'm taking Chilwell and Rudiger.
I'm taking Rudiger over De Ligt. I'm taking Mazraoui over Chilwell.
I'm not taking Mazraoui over Chilwell. I'm not taking Mazraoui over Chilwell. We just see Mazraoui get cooked by Timo Werner.
That wasn't happening under Tuchel. Saka was having a hard time.
But
Saka's one of the best wingers in the world.
Mazraoui.
That's what Tuchel does.
Mazraoui is not who Man United fans think he is. He's not. I had to listen to all of the, man, Mazraoui's a player, isn't he? Mazraoui looks good. He looks tidy on the ball. Mazraoui and Dalot are two slices of the same shit bread, bro. And they are always going to let a guy slip off the back of him, cook him for pace. Mazraoui, to be fair to him, it's his like second or third game in the Premier League. He's probably still adjusting to the intensity and whatever. So there's no need to go overboard killing him. I just don't think he's the level. I just don't think he's like, oh, this is what a top 4 right back.
That's what we were saying about Chilwell, about the guys at Chelsea.
I was saying about Chilwell now. I don't think I was saying about Chilwell back then.
Who Frank Lampard was playing at centre back. That's what we were saying about Havertz, Werner. We're talking about Werner.
Nah, but I don't think we were ever saying that. We were saying that Werner's a mug and Werner's trash.
Werner a scrub. Yeah?
He is.
And you said Mazraoui's a scrub.
But back then I had stocks in Werner.
Yeah, wrongly as well.
I wrongly had stocks in Werner.
Because Werner was still dead then.
Yeah.
But Thomas Tuchel comes in and makes Werner a Champions League winner, starts every game.
But Werner never looked good. I mean, he scored in the run. He scored in Madrid.
He starts every game, though. Under Thomas Tuchel, this is what like when you have a good coach in there, the level that he will take.
But Havertz, Mount, and Werner, I think, is actually better than Xerxes, Garnacho, and with the Rashford that we have now. I actually think it's better.
I agree with that, but I think hindsight is a massive part in that. Right? Tuchel did wonders with those guys. Yeah,
bro, I just don't think
the Havertz at Chelsea, was not looking like, I liked Havertz even when
he wasn't looking
like
this player, for sure.
But he wasn't looking like this, right? Xerxes is his first season in the league. Havertz's first season in the league looked very similar to Xerxes, if we're being honest. Yeah, Tuchel comes in and he elevates Havertz to a completely different level.
So you think Xerxes can get to a level?
No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying
but that's my point.
Tuchel can get him to 10 times the level he's at now.
I don't think that gets them top 4.
Look, it might not. It might not. It might not. But I can't categorically say Tuchel will come to Man United and not get top 4.
I think I can say that.
The Man United squad is not that bad.
I think I can say that. I can say
Look
that.
what he did with Werner. Now he's coming in with Rashford. Rashford's levels.
The Man
Rashford, Garnacho, Ahmad, Tuchel can get a tune out.
The Man United squad isn't 11th place. It isn't 10th place. It's not like a bottom half of the table squad. But, and maybe this is a lot of Ten Hag like smearing good players with his terrible tactics and game plans. And
because the same squad we're talking about finished third under Ten Hag.
But it's not the same squad.
What's different?
He's spent like 100 million.
Yeah, but they haven't lost
new midfielders.
Anyone. They haven't really lost anyone.
Sancho? Yeah, he wasn't even there for that season. I still don't think that for Tuchel to come in with the squad that Ten Hag has put together, it means any sort of league success. I don't think it means any sort of league success. My whole thing,
by league success, you mean top 4.
By league success, if top 4 hasn't been Man United's goal for the last 3, 4, 5 years, if getting a manager who can't get Man United top 4, get Tuchel in, you'll win cups, but you might not get top 4, bro. You're not guaranteed to get top 4 with Tuchel unless you back him and put 100, 200, 300 million.
I'm not saying guaranteed.
Market.
I'm not saying guaranteed.
I don't think Tuchel will come in with things the way Man United are in a situation now where if they do get rid of Ten Hag and if they do get a new manager in, players have to go. The churn has to begin. The churn has to begin all over again.
If Tuchel comes to Man United, in all honesty, he's the second best manager in the league now, yeah?
Are we just saying on resume or
whatever you want to judge it on? If you want to tell me that someone's better, you can tell me. But I would probably say
Arteta's better than Tuchel now.
Okay.
I would. But I have the resumes. The resumes with Tuchel.
I mean, Champions Leagues.
The resume. So if we're saying resumes, it will be Tuchel. But if we're going just off who do I think can get an outfit to, if Arteta was to go up against Tuchel in a Man United team, I'm backing Arteta.
Yeah, I would back Arteta. I would back Arteta.
Even if we used to put Tuchel.
But if
the Villa team,
if you had Tuchel with the Arsenal team and Arteta with the Man United team, who would you back?
The Man United. This is my point.
Tuchel.
This is my point. The Man United squad.
No, but that's just a point.
No. The Man United squad
isn't that big.
No, the Man United squad is that.
Bro, Chelsea.
It's in pieces. It's in pieces.
Chelsea could play Man United. Yeah, in 2 games this season. If the Man United manager is Thomas Tuchel, Chelsea won't win either of them because Enzo Maresca can't get close to him.
Look at what Ten Hag has done. They've got 100 million strikers that might just get to 10 goals. 100 mil. combined fees.
Yeah.
Like Tuchel is as good as he is.
Won the Champions League.
As good as he is.
Guys who scored less
as
goals
good
than
as
that.
But that's the Champions League. That's my point.
Got top 4.
That's my point.
Got top 4 with
that's
that.
my point.
Got top 4 with that.
I think Tuchel is a very good manager. But I think if Man United bring Tuchel in, it's for cup things only. And that might not be the goal.
But he got
Man
top
United
4. He got
have
top 4
to
with
improve.
Havertz, Werner, Mount.
Bro, I don't think he's going to get top 4 with this squad. I don't think so. I don't think the squad is that good. I think it's better than what Ten Hag is making them out to be. But if you look at the composition of the squad, you've got Kobe. Kobe needs to play 35 games.
This squad is easily in the top 6 squads in the league.
On paper,
easily.
Maybe that's because you rate guys like Mazraoui and De Ligt. But I don't.
I think Mazraoui and De Ligt, and this is just based off the evidence that I've seen, are serious guys under a serious manager. And I saw that last year.
I don't think De Ligt is a serious guy under serious. De Ligt has played for top clubs and top managers. But he's played for top clubs and top managers.
Who are the top managers?
He's got shipped around.
Who are the top managers talking about? Exactly. And what? Champions League semi-final, Bernabeu locked it up.
He was hooked.
Bernabeu.
He was hooked.
Locked in the second.
He was hooked for the first game. For the second game, Dyer's coming in. Tuchel in those 2 games.
For what game?
For Arsenal and for Real Madrid, Tuchel played 4 different centre backs. in all of those games, he tried every combination.
De Ligt played both Arsenal games. Started both Arsenal games. Played 90 minutes. I saw De Ligt in the Bernabeu. Yeah. And if it wasn't for the Bernabeu magic, that's a clean sheet there. Yeah, I'm not going to talk on.
Don't go down this road of convincing yourself that De Ligt is.
I'm not going to. I can call De Ligt and Mazraoui. They're playing like scrubs. Yeah, but I don't think them as players. It's the same thing that I said with the Chelsea guys. Yeah, and when Thomas Tuchel went in there, Havertz looked like a scrub. Yeah, Werner looked like a scrub. These guys, they all look like scrubs. Chilwell looked like a scrub. There seems to be no place for Azpilicueta. Thiago Silva wasn't getting in the team. Tuchel comes in. And they all look, they go and win the Champions League. They go and get top 4.
I think you're placing too much stock on Tuchel's league form, and I know he's done
top
that.
4.
But I don't think the squad.
The evidence is there.
I don't think the squad you're asking Tuchel to take to top 4.
I'm not saying Tuchel will categorically get top 4, but I'm telling you that if you think Maresca is his competition, there's no competition with Maresca. In the 2 games that Tuchel will play against,
it's not that Maresca is his competition. Maresca and his squad. Cole Palmer will still be, with Maresca being a dud or Maresca being a champion.
Tuchel will have a plan.
You put in a lot of stock in that, bro.
Yeah.
Tuchel might have a plan for that, but player quality is one thing that's tough to stop.
True, but Casemiro,
and if you're
we both said that Tuchel will get Casemiro ball in.
Tuchel will get Casemiro ball in.
Tuchel will have a setup. Yeah, we're talking about Man United, like you're saying that they're just above the bottom half squad in terms of the players.
No, I'm not. I'm saying they're more than just a 10th place squad, but I still don't think, even if they were firing at all cylinders.
So based on the squad of players Man United have, where do you think they should finish?
With what manager?
Just based on the players.
Just based on the players.
Yeah.
Level
to
level.
They finish?
6th or 5th.
So that's pretty good then, isn't it? That to me signifies that they're in the top 4 race.
No, but if I'm saying the best that
Chelsea
Chelsea
finished 6th last year, and they were in the top 4 race for the most part.
No, they weren't.
Tottenham finished 5th.
Chelsea were not going to the top 4 race. Chelsea were
and Tottenham were there. It was theirs to lose.
It was theirs to lose,
right? And under Ten Hag now, you expect Man United to finish where? If Ten Hag stays for the whole season,
9th to 7th,
7th to 9th, right?
Yeah.
But their squad is 5th or 6th best.
Yeah.
Right. So massive underperformance from Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Now, if Thomas Tuchel comes in, where do you expect that squad to finish?
5th or 6th.
So Thomas Tuchel, essentially, in your opinion, gets the absolute maximum out of them.
Yeah.
So we agree on that. We agree that Tuchel will come in and get the absolute maximum.
But it won't be top 4.
But we just think that the maximum is different.
Yeah, Tuchel. I said that Tuchel will do better than Ten Hag, but I don't think Tuchel is a league manager, and I think Manchester United have to focus on getting them a manager that's going to progress them in the league. Have to.
I think if Tuchel comes in and finishes 5th this season, that to me would already show that he's competed for top 4, right? And I don't know how you could bet against Tuchel to go and finish one place higher in the following season,
because I don't think the squad is that good. And I don't think they'll put the money in.
But the Tuchel's transfers. What do you mean the money? This is Man United. They put the money in every summer.
I think you have to shift players. Tuchel was going to come in and say Ugarte is not good enough. De Ligt, I know him, he's all right, but he's not really a Premier League centre-back. That's why I brought Dyer in. That's why I brought Dyer away. Yeah, that's why I brought Dyer away. Like, I think there's a lot of these guys. Dalot, he's not a Tuchel left back or right back. He's a wing back for Tuchel.
Tuchel will get Dalot.
He's a wing back for Tuchel.
Dalot's Chilwell before Tuchel came to Chelsea. That's who he is. Tuchel comes in, starts playing a wing back system. All of a sudden, Dalot's like deficiencies defensively. This is what I mean,
Dalot's deficiencies defensively, they're there to stay. He's 25 now. He's 26.
Yeah, but Chilwell is a joke, man, defensively.
Yeah, that's what you put him in the wing back position.
Chilwell last year, exactly. So a top coach comes in, and he looks at the players he has, and he says, "Cool, De Ligt. Yeah, he looks like he might not be a Premier League centre back. Let me pair him with two. Lisandro Martinez. He looks like he's 5'3" and can't cope. Let me put him with two guys that can play ball here."
So you think?
I just think a top coach understands the team and understands how to get the most out of the team. Like, if you've got certain weapons in your team and you need to play a certain way, Ten Hag is not the kind of coach that can understand that. Ten Hag is going to want to play his football, and he signed players that he thinks can match his football, and it hasn't worked, and he can't change it.
And I don't think Tuchel can mold those players to play his football.
No,
I don't think these guys.
That's what makes Tuchel a top coach. He won't mold them to play his football. He will mold his football to match what he's got. That's why Tuchel is so good.
What does he have?
Right, bro, he's got good players.
What does he have?
He's got good players there.
What does he have?
There's no doubt about
We're here
that.
to kill Casemiro. Well, sorry, Casemiro he's been killed. He was whatever in this game. We're here to kill Ugarte. We're here to kill Mazraoui. We're here to kill De Ligt.
Because of Ten Hag.
We're here to kill Xerxes.
Because of Ten Hag. All of these
Garnacho
guys.
and Rashford are meh.
All of these guys can get killed.
Kobe's pulled off at halftime. Kobe needs to play 35 games for Manchester United. Otherwise, who's progressing the ball?
Because of Ten Hag.
I agree. A lot of this, all of this is on Ten Hag, but still, strip Ten Hag away now. Ten Hag's worst trait is his squad building. What kind of topsy-turvy, weird squad is this? The next manager who's coming in, and Ineos are talking about everything is done at club level now. We're dictating the style of play. We're dictating who's coming in and who's going out.
I don't even think Ten Hag's worst trait is his squad building.
Whoever's coming in after Ten Hag is going to be like, I have a 9.5.
I think his worst trait is just an inability to get any sort of tactical setup right.
It's
the very fundamentals of the recruitment and stuff comes with the people around you and whatever. And yes, Ten Hag sanctioned that, and it's not been good. It's been awful. It's a bad part. But I think Ten Hag's worst part, like Ten Hag plays. How many teams does Man United's Eric Ten Hag's Man United play that we're like, there is no doubt that these 11 players
are going to be set up better.
Are better than these 11 players that Man United are playing against, but they will lose.
Yeah, Ten Hag can't escape the criticism. Like a midfield of Kulu, Bentancur, and
we can agree Tuchel's not losing that game yesterday.
Who was the other guy?
Madison, Kulu, Bentancur.
Kulu, Bentancur, and Madison. Like that midfield should not be at your place. But the way Madison was doing, flick, touch around the corner, through the legs, flip flap, leave the ball behind, Madison is doing what he wants. Yeah. Everybody, whenever people start saying how good the game Bentancur has had, I know the other team was terrible.
Yeah.
I know the other team was terrible. And then Kulu in midfield is nothing more than a woke hippie experiment. Like Kulu in midfield, when Kulu's eating, how many games have we watched Kulu churn out? I'm not gonna get past the first man. The cross is not gonna get deep into the box. The shot straight to the keeper's arms or high over the bar. Kulu looked good yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Madison looked good yesterday. Bentancur, and it's not that these are like dog terrible players. It's just that the combination of the three of them in midfield at OT shouldn't be bossing them.
Yeah.
And that I put a lot of that on Ten Hag.
In a big away game.
And this is why I come back to Ten Hag squad building, because what changes could Ten Hag possibly have made? Bruno's gone off with a red card. That is what it is. The only person he can bring on is Casemiro.
One of the biggest indictments on Ten Hag's squad building is he had Anthony and Casemiro on the bench yesterday, who combined for 170 million.
His players.
Mount was on the bench. Players. That's another 60 million.
Mount came on. The first thing he did was get a yellow card.
Hoyland was on the bench. That's 72 million, whether that's injury or whatnot.
Even if we've obviously talked a lot about Tuchel, but say Ruud, it was most likely be Ruud to come in and take over the job from Tuchel. Like what does Rude genuinely have to work with? Who does Rude have to get going to really kick Man United up the table? What is the upside? Look, and I get it, man. Maybe we're being because a lot of these guys are young, like Xerxes young, Hoyland's young. You know, something could potentially click with those guys. But what is the upside of a fully firing Hoyland? Does he get you 15 to 20? Does he get you 10 to 15? Obviously, it's yet to be seen, but I would be shocked if a fully firing Hoyland gets you 15 to 20.
Yeah. I would be shocked as well. I don't see that happening.
But you spent 72.
Yeah. Ten Hag spent 72. He sanctioned that. But I agree with you in that I think on paper, when you look at this Man United squad, it's probably the 5th or 6th best squad in the league, right? So if they get a proper serious manager that can overachieve with that team, then they can maybe compete for top 4, maybe just miss out on whatever, right? If it's Ruud van Nistelrooy, I expect them to be 6th, 7th. I don't expect it to change that much from Ten Hag. But at the moment, for you to then say that Ten Hag's then going to be expected to finish between 7th and 9th, Ten Hag is bringing this team down a lot.
He is. It's so visible.
Yeah.
It's so visible that Ten Hag is bringing his team down a lot and just bust him every time.
Yeah, and look, we need to talk about Tottenham because we kind of got sidetracked on the Tuchel thing there. I spoke about Tuchel a lot. And probably because we were arguing about Tuchel, Ten Hag's been let off the hook slightly. But there'll be more weeks. But we should talk about Tottenham. And it's a good, as much as we're saying, Bentancur, Mada, Kulu, we're going to do this thing. United was shit, down to 10 men. It's a good result for Ange and Tottenham. You go to Old Trafford, you win 3-0, regardless of the circumstances. I always feel like that's a tough place to go.
Yeah, it is.
And for Tottenham, who don't win at big away stadiums, to go there and do that, like you said, you called it an FA Cup final. I think Fuad's tweeted about it 16 times since yesterday.
Tottenham fans are gassed.
They are treating it like a trophy, like a parade, but regardless of all the banter, it's a good result. It's always a good result if you go to Old Trafford and win.
Yeah, I'm kind of torn because I agree with everything you said. It's a good result. I said it's an FA Cup final for Tottenham fans and they're treating it as such. I think obviously, from a non-biased perspective, Ange, you know, I was going to say Ange set up, had a game plan, did the right things.
It looked like a masterclass.
It did. Maybe it's just because
I know you don't rate Ange at all.
I'm struggling.
So that tells you what you need to know about Ten Hag.
I'm struggling to get these words out. That like it was an Ange masterclass, and Ange set the team up right. And
I'm not saying it was, but I'm saying it looked like that.
It looked like it. You're right. I don't think it was.
Yeah,
but it did definitely look like that because you should get crucified.
It wasn't like De Zerbi last year.
When
it was really like, yo, this is just. Ten Hag just can't compete.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
There's levels to this. But it looked like that.
No, Tottenham do deserve their credit for a 3-0 win at Old Trafford. And even me on my most, like, I hate Tottenham, whatever. Today's not the day to kill him. And just bossed Ten Hag almost every time he's seen him. He's normally got a tune out of him.
He's lost.
Yeah, he's normally got a tune out of Ten Hag anytime Ten Hag comes to step to him.
But one thing Tottenham can't do is go and lose this weekend.
But I think they'll do that. But
if you go and lose away at Brighton,
I think they'll do that. I think that's, as I said, the thing about. But no, let's stay with giving Tottenham some credit. I want to credit Brendan Johnson.
4-4.
4-4. I want to credit Ange for keeping Brendan Johnson in the team. Hearing, he's disabled, his comments on social media, whatever. Ange, just go out and play. Don't listen to the online bullshit. Go out and play. I also
and credit to Brendan Johnson himself as well.
Credit Ange as well for losing Son and not changing anything, still trying to be this front-footed team.
Tottenham fans were ready to kill Ange.
What I will say is, I think Man United have a better squad than Tottenham,
without a doubt.
Like even
without a doubt, that's not even up for debate.
Yeah, I think Man United have a better squad than Tottenham. Yeah. And it was funny that you say that.
And Ange finished 5th last year.
It's funny that you say that because I was listening to the Gary Neville podcast, and he was like, "Yeah, I was looking at the 2 team sheets, and I was like, I actually think I prefer Tottenham's team sheet." And I was like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
you don't think that. If my manager was to put Kulu, Bentancur, and Maddison midfield at OT, I'd be calling for his head.
I saw a United fan, and this is when you know it's dark times for them, right? Because I saw a United fan say, if Mikel Arteta was managing Man United, he would have Rashford looking like Martinelli when Martinelli was on form. He would have Ahmad not looking like Saka because Saka's levels, but he would get a tune out of that
Saka,
man. Yeah. What he's done with Havertz, right? He would get something out of Xerxes. If he needed to play Højlund, he would get something out of Højlund. He would have Bruno doing a certain role. Whether or not Bruno could do that, we don't know. But Arteta would raise the level, right, to a point where you don't think that these Tottenham man are better than the players here.
Yeah, no.
And that was a United fan saying that.
To the point that you've made, I think my hate for Ten Hag squad building is equally. You're right. It's equally as bad as Ten Hag's ability to genuinely get an identity on the like form an identity on the training ground, or whatever, and translate that onto performances on the pitch. Because you're right. Any other manager, I've seen Gary O'Neill get tunes out of guys that I thought were potentially lost players and all of this kind of stuff. I've seen all these managers get a tune out of at least one player who I thought, man, this guy's done. There's nothing in there.
And that's something you kind of have to give Ange credit for.
And with Son out, Werner, I've always hated Werner. Well, I say always hated. Ever since I found out that Werner was just not the guy he was in Bundesliga, I had to quickly flip the dial.
Yeah.
And, it's not that Werner was amazing or nothing, but Werner yesterday had the mentality of, I'm going to cook Mazraoui. I don't know if that's come from the manager. Don't know what Werner had for breakfast yesterday morning or whatever it was. But Werner's come out and he's cooked Mazraoui.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Johnson and Dalot, same thing.
And I give Ange the credit for giving Werner that confidence. You're starting today, captain's down. I've chosen you to go in there. I could have moved some pieces around, played Kulu here, done put Basuma, Sarr in midfield.
Yeah.
But you're the guy, you're the legs, you're the pace. This team is going to buckle under the pressure we're going to cause. We're going to do this whole high press thing. Tottenham win the ball back a lot. The way they won the ball off United, half of it is United giving it away, all this kind of stuff. But like, Tottenham were always
That's the thing.
there.
Tottenham's press looked immaculate.
Yeah, Tottenham was always there to win the ball back.
And that's a lot of that's down to Tottenham, but I think a lot of that's down to United.
Yeah.
United, like you say, United just giving the ball away. Can't string 4 passes.
Can't. But you're right. It comes down to, honestly, this before I can say too much in terms of the praise of Tottenham, it all comes down to what they do next week. Because I will be there to kill Tottenham next week if they lose to Brighton. And Fabian's team.
Same way after they won 4-0 at Villa and then lost 3-0 at Fulham.
The thing that Tottenham have proven today, for sure, categorically, is we have a better manager than Manchester United.
Yeah.
Categorically.
There's no debate.
That's actually probably the only truest conclusion.
Yeah. But bro,
I can take out of yesterday's fixture.
I think 17, 18 Premier League teams can say that.
They have a better manager than Ten Hag.
Than Man United.
So yeah, the Man United.
I genuinely think 17 or 18
that's why I
teams
think it's crazy for you to say that you can't see Ten Hag get. I think if Ten Hag loses the next 2, and I genuinely thought they'd give Ten Hag until maybe December.
No, but bro, I would have said that after he won the FA Cup.
That he has to go.
Yeah, that there's 17 managers in the Premier League better than him.
Yeah.
I would have said that after that he won the FA Cup. But Ineos have decided, no, we're going to stick with him. We're going to give him a 1-year contract.
And I'll say it on the pod because I was saying it to you yesterday that I don't want to hear from Manchester United fans that there isn't managers out there who could do a better job, who can take over the whole, we have to stick with Ten Hag because nobody else is going to do a better job than Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
No.
I think there's bare managers out there who could do a better job than Ten Hag.
Southgate, would do better than Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Right, not by a lot. Southgate might finish 7th.
Yeah.
He might scramble to 6th. Right, it won't be that much better, but I think Southgate would still do better than Ten Hag.
I don't rate Southgate a lot at all, but some of the losses, some of the blowout losses that we've seen, I don't know if Southgate would get though. He would lose 2-0, would lose 2-1. You'd still be upset. You'd have every right to be upset. But some of these blowouts that we see that teams come to Old Trafford or whatever, Bournemouth last year, 3 blowout, should have been 4 or 5-0 when Bournemouth came. Some of those ones, Southgate might be able to get Maguire to put on a competent performance. It's at least closer in competitiveness rather than just the dribble that Man United produce.
The basketball game, the absolute calamity that Man United serve up every week. But look, we spent more than enough time on Man United and Tottenham. So
it'd be interesting, but to be for the people who watch this to tell us their thoughts on even if you're a United fan, not a United fan, Ten Hag in, Ten Hag out, who you would have to replace him. What do you think Ten Hag's worst trait is in the 3 years that we've seen Ten Hag? I'd still put it squad building. But
and
I
also,
do hear that.
Aman, if you are listening to this, put in the comments if Rudiger was a scrub before.
Rudiger was
Tuchel.
not a scrub before Tuchel.
Tuchel.
Rudiger was not a scrub before Tuchel.
Because Lampard was leaving him out of matchday squads.
Lampard is a dance. Lampard is a drip, but
and who's more of a dunce? Eric Ten Hag.
I think that's a battle of ages between Lampard and Ten Hag.
It is. But I think Ten Hag's more of a dunce. I think Lampard getting top 4 with the Chelsea team that was on a transfer ban is more impressive than what Ten Hag's done.
I think Ten Hag is more of a dunce simply because he should. Like Lampard has, I was going to say no credibility, but minimal credibility in management. He was just, I don't even know if he did his badges. He just got the derby. He just did the derby. He got the derby job and went on from there. Ten Hag, you went through the schooling. He was under Pep. He was under the tutelage. You've got your badges. You had Ajax.
Champions League.
You should have, when they talk about experience to fall back on, you should have heaps and heaps of experience. Like Lampard has always just, I don't know how he got offered the Chelsea job. I don't know how he got offered the Everton job. Like he just sort of found his way in these positions.
But yeah, look, we'll move it on because that's enough on Man United. Arsenal versus Leicester.
Yeah. Not an easier game to analyse. I'm not going to lie to you.
Arsenal eventually coming out 4-2 winners. They left it late after giving up a 2-goal lead. And we should have been out of sight at halftime. And it's just deja vu on the podcast. Reload it, run the same thing, go and look at most of our episodes from last year. Arsenal don't take their chances. And it comes back to bite us. And this time we got away with it. And like you say, difficult one to analyze. Our XG was 5, right?
Like
Arteta coached to 5-0. So none of it's on Arteta, but the players have just got to start taking their chances.
I agree with what you're saying. I think it's tough to say that we got away with it, even though we did, because we scored in the 90 whatever minute. But we should have been out of sight in that game.
Yep.
I mean, the keeper's made 13 saves. We've still scored 4 goals.
Yep.
He's made 13 saves and we've scored 4 goals. How many goals should we have scored or could we have scored? You know, we could literally have been getting into double digits, double figures, or the 8s or the 9s or whatever.
36 shots or something.
Yeah. Even the goals that we did concede, obviously deflected shot, world class strike,
screamer
from James Justin.
Shout out James Justin because that was an unbelievable.
He'll be in the goals of the season.
Yeah.
All the comps that they'll do at the end of the season, all the like goals of the season for goals of the month or whatever. It's getting my vote up there.
Yeah.
But other than the 2 goals, I don't think we gave Leicester much.
Yeah, I mean, in the first half, Leicester had absolutely nothing.
I don't think we gave them anything.
Arsenal dominance. And at 2-0 up, I thought that was just going to be... But to throw away a 2-0 lead...
That's the even the term throw away. We did, but we didn't throw it away. We did because we lost. We shot 2 goals.
Yes, it's a deflection, but it's a free kick and a foul that Saliba should never give away.
Yeah.
He's picked up a yellow card from that as well. And it's not even about the 2 goals, because I said this to you off air, like, Southampton could come next week and they could score a deflected goal. And one of the Brereton Diaz could decide, I'm just going to stick this one in the top bins, right? But Arsenal are a good enough team, especially at home, to make sure that none of that matters.
Yeah. What I will say is, where I will be critical of Arsenal is when they did get it back to 2-2, that was like the 62nd minute. Like we had a good 25, 30 minutes, all possession, all ball, all shots on target. Like, I'll give Trossard a lot of credit because he does score big-time goals for us. He is a big-time player for us. Like, you know, the value for money thing for Trossard is ridiculous.
Yeah. You want to talk about squad build.
Yeah, exactly. All of that is ridiculous, but we had bare chances to kill this game off. I don't really ever want to be in a situation, and I love last-minute winners against, in particular, big, like, low opposition, but shitty opposition. The ones where you say, quote unquote, we got away with one. Yeah, sometimes those feel sweeter.
Yeah, Luton last year.
Yeah. Do you remember when Alexis Sanchez?
Burnley.
Yeah. Do you remember the Bournemouth one as well when he scored the Panenka penalty in the 100th minute?
Yeah.
Versus
that was Burnley.
That was Burnley.
Yeah.
When we
he did it to Burnley like 3 times.
Yeah. Shut up. We're a big club. We'll take those 3 points.
But we're in very different stages.
We are in very different stages.
Like, I was loving those at the time, right? Because they were massive. But
now
I don't. Now we're meant to be going for the title with Man City. I don't need to see us struggle.
That's my point. That's my point. So my point is, as much as I love those ones, you know, sometimes maybe even bigger than the big ones, bigger than like I might like Eddie's goal. at OTC. That was Eddie's goal,
Man United.
against Man United. But the Sanchez one has a special place because it's like, they hate us.
Yeah.
Like we shouldn't have got anything out of this one. But where we are now, the direction we're trying to go towards, what we're trying to do, this should have been an easy 3 points. Especially considering that Man City dropped points earlier that same day. For the where my head was in the 87th minute, in the 89th minute, in the 90th minute.
For me, that was title over.
When it was 2-2, I was looking for any reason to justify dropping points to Leicester, but I couldn't.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
No reason.
I was like, maybe Leicester are more of a plucky side than we thought. Maybe they actually do have a good manager down here, and Steve Krug, maybe he's putting the things in. Indeed, he's always been a good player. Indeed,
yeah.
Teams don't know about Indeed
playing as a number 10.
Yeah,
Come on, that's Steve Cooper's terrorism.
No, there was no excuse.
And look, for me, and I've said this to you off air, guys are saying, "Oh, champions need these results, and champions they win late, and this is what they do." For me, this is not a result of champions, right? And again, like you say, it's a difficult one to analyze. I can't call Arsenal lucky because they deserve to win the game by a lot more than they actually did, right? So it's not even really lucky, but it's not the result of champions. If Arsenal go to St. James's Park and they win like that, result of champions. They go to Stamford Bridge and they win like that, result of champions. Even Brentford, right? But Leicester at home, before the game, that needed to be 3 points. No ifs, buts, and maybes. At the end of the game, I don't care how it's happened. There's nothing more to it, but that's 3 points and we move on. There's no result of champions. For me, there's none of that.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I think, that's just like pundits and whatever, trying to, the cliches.
It's rival fans saying it,
The
Liège.
Champions
League. Mayowa, them man.
I honestly think it's a really tough game to analyze because if you was to look at the scoreline, or if you look at how things unfolded, you would say,
scored 4 goals.
Yeah, but I truly, truly believe that this is one of these games that unless you're Arteta and the staff or whatever, we shouldn't dwell on this game. We should lock this one away. This was a freak.
This isn't one of those games where if we do end up winning the league, I'm like,
we come back to this one.
It's a good thing.
No, exactly.
This is 3 points.
Exactly. It's not even a last minute winner that you come back to and think this is where it all changed for us.
Whereas the Eddie one, if we had one on one, that's Man United.
I agree with you.
Home. That's a massive game. Those 3 points are on the line, and we need that. That's a big one.
But I would have felt the same way about the Sanchez one. Like, if we had come back to it,
to try and get Europa League.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. The squad, but like, if that ends up winning you, that's 100. Remember the 100th minute?
Panenka. Of course.
But I agree with you.
Also, those Sanchez ones were like in February or March. Yeah. So if it's Leicester at home, similar to Bournemouth at home, Reece Nelson. That was massive. Massive 3 points. We're in September, and it's Leicester at home. Match week. What did Arteta say? They asked him. 6. It seems like it's a massive win, huge win. Arteta goes, it's game week 6.
I think there's something to be said though about the bullshit that does happen to us at home though. These dropping 2-goal leads, these like, if we're ever to have a pass back be latched on to by an opponent player, it's 100% happening at home. Like 100, if we're ever to be latched.
Because away from home, we just seem safe.
Away from home, we don't come out after half time with that sort of lackadaisical. Saliba doesn't give that far though. He's there. He's aggressive in the challenge. Exactly. I think if Arsenal are going to win trophies, league, Champions League, wherever it's going to be, and it's not that we're not formidable at home. We score goals at home.
Yeah.
But we like the final piece of the Bozo gene is these ones that we concede at home. These needless ones that we concede at home that end up ruining our season and ruining our title chances and all this kind of stuff.
I couldn't agree.
That's got to stop. Let them earn the way they have to earn the goals away from home. Let them earn those ones. Do you remember last year when we went into the break 1-1 at halftime with Liverpool? We bossed Liverpool. And then the calamity with Gabriel and Raya what's going like all of those kind of goals.
Wissa.
In
the Brentford game with Ramsdale at home.
All of these kind of calamity goals.
The Ivan Toney one that almost went in.
Come on.
That's the bullshit you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the bullshit
Everton
I'm talking
last day
about.
of the season, deflection free kick.
our weird judge at home can completely eviscerate a great 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Completely eviscerate a great 45 minutes.
The Liverpool one's the biggest example.
Exactly. Boss them all over them, going 1-0 up at halftime, thinking, great.
Should be 2-3
Yeah,
up.
yeah. Thinking, why haven't we scored more? Seconds before the break. Double deflection.
Yeah, calamity on goal.
Diaz.
But aside from all of that, because maybe we've been quite harsh, Martinelli, shout out Martinelli, goal and an assist. After a good performance last week against Man City as well, probably should have had more goals, but comes away with a goal and assist, fair play. And some person whose impact on actually the result and Arsenal winning the game, I don't think can be understated, is Ethan Nwaneri. 17-year-old came on. Arteta put him on at 2-2. And I was basically telling him, go on, I need you to go and win this game for us. And his first action, he comes on, he wraps the shot. The keeper has to make a good save. And instantly he brings some energy and he raises the atmosphere. He raises the crowd level. And I think that was vital for Arsenal to just try and have a different dynamic.
Yeah, no, Ethan is a super serious talent. Like a super serious talent. And it's kind of funny because sometimes when an Arsenal player is coming through, as an Arsenal fan, you feel like you have to push even harder to get the PR out there or the agendas out there, whatever it may be. With Ethan, I feel like everybody's already from all sorts of other fan bases have all come together and been like, yeah, no, he looked good. He looked serious.
Yeah.
You know, like it seems to be like a just already football
Cam
fan
said
thing.
he's got 99% of footballers at Arsenal.
Already. I think Ethan is, bro, he's just going to grow this season. Honestly, I feel like we shouldn't even say too much. We'll just wait and see. We'll let his football do the talking. Yeah. But what he did show us in the Bolton game, in the Tottenham game before that, is that he does look at this level. Yeah. At least first touch wise, the whole, like, you know, the not intangibles, but like the whole stuff of like, can he see the picture early? Can he, you know, all that kind of stuff? I have no doubt that Ethan can do it. He can see the pass. He can play the pass. I think my only questions over Ethan is physically, can he do these 90-minute performances that obviously we will need him to do at some point. But
I think his biggest attribute from what I've seen so far seems to be his temperament. Like for a 17-year-old to come in and cool, it's Leicester at home, but like you say, he came on at Tottenham. And was composed. Like
when to cycle,
exactly. Sometimes you see young guys come on and they're kind of a bit scrappy, a bit kind of, I'll just kick this one into the space and whatnot. Composed. He'll take his time on the ball. If he's getting pressed, he'll move, he'll shuffle, he'll try and find the space, try and find the pass. And his temperament on Saturday when he came on was very much just like, okay, Arteta's told me I'm here to come and win the game. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm not shying away from this. I'm not playing backwards passes
to be here
to get myself into the game. Or
I love that, man.
I'm going straight to goal and I'm hitting the shot.
I love that, not just happy to be here mentality, but I think it's sort of pretty clear to Ethan. He's been around the club for a while now. He's seen who's come into the team and who's come out of the team. He's seen who stayed into the team. Like I think knows obviously more than anybody probably right now what it's going to take to consistently play for Arsenal. Like he knows what it's going to take. He knows that he has to gun down a top quality player's shirt and steal those minutes 100%. From him. And still,
but Arteta's given him that faith, that backing, and told him, look, there's minutes here for you.
I think Arteta's done that with everybody. I think you have to have that mentality of, I'm taking this guy's shirt.
I don't know if he's done that with everybody.
I think so.
I think in the summer he was probably telling Smith Rowe and Eddie.
But I think he gave Smith Rowe and Eddie the chance.
He gave
him that chance. The same conversations he's having with Nwaneri now, I'm sure he had with Smith Rowe. Hey, if you work hard, if you do these things, you show up every day in training and it's all here for you. Like I don't think Arteta would intentionally keep a good quality player who can help the team out of the side for like something as trivial, quote unquote, as age.
Yeah.
Like I think Arteta
the same thing with Lewis Skelly.
Yeah.
Josh Nichols is making the bench, but I just thought Ethan's impact was good, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. But we'll move it on. Chelsea versus Brighton. Now, I was at the Arsenal game, and at halftime, my brother's getting his score updates, and he's told me Palmer scored 4 goals.
Yo, Cole Palmer's thing is so tapped.
I've put on the group chat. Palmer has 4 goals in the first half, and it was actually 4 goals in 20 minutes.
Should have had more.
Yeah, a couple disallowed goals. He hit the post. I think one cleared off the line. And look, we'll talk on Cole Palmer for a sec here and what he's doing. Because a lot of people, I think, thought that last year might have been a flash in the pan. Even Arman, who's a Chelsea fan, his preseason prediction was that Palmer would get less than 15 league goals. Which is looking sticky because he's got 6.
Oh, I was gonna say that I thought Palmer wouldn't be a flash in the pan. I knew he was a good quality player, but I thought he would be like, it would average out a little bit.
The output.
Yeah. I thought it would average out a little bit. Like he wouldn't get, another 20 goal a season campaign, but he might get more assists than he did last year, type of thing. And he'll end up with like a respectable 10 and 10, 12 and 10. Whatever it might
be. Even a 15 and 10.
Yeah.
Last year was 22 and 13.
But I am genuinely I don't know if shocked or surprised is the right word, but like it is kind of incredible to see somebody take an opportunity with 2 hands the same way Cole Palmer has, like a young footballer, to be like, because when Chelsea signed him, deadline day of last season or towards the end of last summer, sorry, I did not think this guy was a franchise player. I thought he was a good player. I thought he can do a job. I saw him score against Arsenal in the Community Shield. Obviously, we know your pedigree coming out of Manchester City, but I didn't think he was a franchise player, starter, number 10 on his back type of guy. Everything has to go through him, bro. He's that.
Yep.
He's literally that. Cole Palmer is the reason I put Chelsea squad in conversations that they might not necessarily be in. Like, take Cole Palmer out, and I think the Chelsea squad is maybe Tottenham's level, or maybe maybe there's not much.
I don't think the attack links.
Maybe there's not much, but they literally have a guy who can get 20 and 10.
I won't talk about Jackson the way I talk about Jackson if Palmer's not there, and Noni.
I'm not even mentioning. I'm not even mentioning what Sancho can do. And
forget about exactly. I'm still not mentioning what Sancho.
Exactly. And we have a lot to say about Chelsea's defense, and we'll still have a lot to say after this game about Chelsea's defense. But Cole Palmer specifically, bro, the X factor that he brings, the output that he brings, it is make or break for Chelsea. It is a game breaker. Like he is. If Chelsea are going to get anywhere or do anything, it will be off his coattails. It will be on the back 100%. Of what Cole Palmer has provided for them, bro. And I thought he might slack off with the goal thing. He had like 5 assists and 1 goal or whatever before, or 2 goals before yesterday or Saturday's game.
Yeah.
When you can start doing the Luis Suarez, I'm just going to get 4 goals today, leapfrog 3, 4, 5 guys in the Golden Boot race.
What was that thing you said? He's got the same amount of hat-tricks as Lampard.
Yeah. I think it's actually only Lamps that has more, but he has Drogba and Anelka, Malouda, all these guys who you think are top Chelsea hat-trick, striker guys, goal-getters. And
he's a 10.
And the worst thing about it was like Lampard, 4 hat-tricks, like 430 games.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer, 3 hat-tricks, 39 games.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. If you have that X factor, a good manager, not a good manager, if you have a guy that can get you 20 and 10, that wins football matches.
Yeah.
That wins football matches. And the quality of goals as well. It's not even a Haaland thing. Haaland could get 4 goals in a game and have 4 tap-ins.
Yeah.
Like Cole Palmer's got the aesthetic. He's got the eye test. He's 3 kicks, 35 yards. The 4th goal was a good finish. It's like an okay ball.
Yeah.
And he smashed that into the bottom corner, And he can definitely tell Cole Palmer's one of those guys where it's all footballers are like this, I guess, but it's a confidence thing of like, if he's in that zone, if he's in, you can see it with Ozil. Like, when Ozil's feeling it today, on any day Ozil can create 2 clear goal scoring opportunities. But there's certain games where you're like, he's in rhythm. Every touch is every touch is perfect. 100%. Every ball out wide is the perfect.
Because I think the only game he's potentially not got a goal and an assist in this season, other than Man City in the first game, was Bournemouth. And we watched that Bournemouth game together. And Cole Palmer wasn't really.
There was barely any rhythm in that game at all.
Yeah. And Bournemouth played well in that game. Obviously, Chelsea ended up winning the game. But I definitely see what you mean, because like when Palmer plays at Tottenham, for example, and he knows that it's Chelsea, Tottenham, it's a rivalry and whatever, Palmer's going to come with some vim. He's going to come on a level of like, I know what I'm going to do today.
With these creators, bro, you can see it in the first like 5 minutes. They'll play that one ball that no one else has thought to play yet in the first couple of minutes of the game, and he's done that first time with pace, with intensity, and like, when you see Palmer doing that stuff, you could be in for a very long afternoon, man. You could be in for a very, very long afternoon. He is top quality, and I was telling you yesterday. Another thing about Palmer is just everybody loves him. Everybody wants to see him do well. Everybody wants to get behind him. It's kind of like a Saka thing, but I don't think Palmer has haters. Like, Saka has haters because he plays for Arsenal, and Arsenal fans have gassed him. But I don't think Palmer even has the haters like that. You know?
Yeah, he doesn't. Most people, like you say, do love Palmer. And I think the reason they don't like Saka, or maybe Saka has haters, is because he plays for a big club, in it. He plays for Arsenal, so
there's something to be jealous of, envious of.
It's gonna happen, innit? None, like, Chelsea don't really have haters, like, because no one really like cares that deeply about Chelsea.
Yeah, I think maybe everybody's expecting Cole Palmer to move on to a bigger club.
Well, the Man United thing, that's what United fans are, because he is a United fan, isn't it?
I saw that they were saying he's going to replace Bruno.
We'll see.
They'd have to pay him, literally, I think, 500k a week.
Yeah, it'd have to be something stupid. He's on like a 12-year deal or something.
That's Tuchel's. I'm not signing unless
you get me Cole Palmer.
Yeah, that's Tuchel's. That's gonna be his, like, I'm not signing on the dotted line unless you've already put in £150 million bid to get me Cole Palmer.
And then he should do that. Brighton's high line.
Yeah, it was a bit ridiculous.
They were unbeaten until this point, but I obviously didn't see the whole game.
It wasn't even the high line, I think, that killed them.
It just looked like Chelsea just kept going in behind them.
Yeah,
which is one ball over the top, a bit like the Chelsea-Tottenham game last year, but Tottenham had 9 men.
Sorry, it was the high line that killed him, because there was a lot of time Chelsea was getting in behind, but I think it was a combination of, like, the high line and just so poor at the back. The reason the high line was a thing is, like, as soon as Brighton are trying to play up the lines, and Webster, whoever misplaces the ball,
that's how they get their first goal. Chelsea,
but I guess it went both ways. Like,
Sanchez, that howler,
that first goal. What's he doing?
I don't know why he thinks he can get to that.
I think this will be. It will be a wake up call for Hertzler, but I think this will be one of those ones where Hertzler might be like, all right, this isn't Germany. This isn't an ideal, like, and I know they were saying on FCM this league might be becoming an ideological league. I don't know if we can go that far yet. I think Hertzler's learned that, like, all right, I'm going to need to be pragmatic some days, or, like, if I see things going a certain way, I'm just going to need to be...
Well, otherwise it's just, on Sunday, it's just going to be high line versus high line.
Yeah, and to be fair, he was saying, look, Hertzler might think not every team has a Cole Palmer, but I promise you they'll have somebody that will will play that ball. Yeah. Like Smith Rowe, all these guys, Gibbs White.
Guys will be able to do
it. Guys will be able to do it if you're constantly going to give them chances and space in behind and be sloppy at the back.
He has to learn from that. If he's a proper manager, he has to learn from that and realize, like, okay,
quickly,
maybe we need to adapt certain things. But we'll move it on. The early kickoff, Newcastle versus Man City. Man City's first game without Rodri, the guy that can't be beaten, right? But Man United, Man City went and dropped points at St. James's Park. They went 1-0 up. Gavardio goal,
great goal.
Yeah, took his goal nicely. But especially in that second half, Newcastle just seemed to be getting on top.
Yo, this was first of all, this was the perfect start to my weekend, but this was the best tone setter. I'll tell you, this is the best tone setter for the rest of the league. Not in terms of how to play City without Rodri, and there's many ways to play City, I guess, without Rodri. But just in terms of, when you have City in that moment, and it might only be 5 minutes, it might only be 10 minutes or whatever it is. But without Rodri, other teams should know that they are capable of sustaining pressure on City. Yeah. Yes, City are still superior in quality and still have great players that can still hurt you and turn you over in transition. But though that second half between Gordon's goal and pretty much the end of the game, but definitely the other 10 minutes, 15 minutes after Gordon's goal, Newcastle recycle. Yeah. Man City are hitting the same long balls we were hitting out to nobody up the pitch. I'm seeing Man City just kick him up there. Get back. It's being brought back. Gundogan, they try and play between the lines. It's cut out. Kovacic loses it. Pressure from the midfield. Like without Rodri and that like ever-present calming factor in there, no matter the intensity of the game, no matter the physicality of the game, when Rodri isn't there, Newcastle have just shown us, but other teams should know as well that like for that 10-15 minutes, bro, you can get onto them. You can step onto the gas. You can run through.
And you have to capitalize when you get that.
Yeah.
You get that period of play.
I was
because like you say, it might only be 5 minutes.
It might only be,
but you have to go and.
But it's possible.
Take that 5 minutes and actually go and like try and sustain.
Put it on it. Put balls in the box. 100%. Get around Kovacic's
and you mentioned him there, Anthony Gordon.
Yeah. BGB.
BGB taking the slow Rashford's chain. But what a performance from him as striker as well.
He was bro. He was running those channels shamelessly, man.
Tirelessly.
Like just Bruno G head down, ball over the top. Anthony Gordon. I'm gonna get onto this one. I'm gonna Harry Gvardiol. It's not gonna be
that's what we've worked on all week.
Yeah, it's not gonna be like Gvardiol brings this down, gets the pass to Edison freely, and Edison gets the turn, has time and space, can choose who he wants.
And he can get
on either foot. Gordon's. I'm gonna harry you. I'm gonna harry Edison. Barnes is gonna close in from the other side. You
Murphy's Tonali, Joe Linton. But no, Gordon. The pen was cold as well. Gordon's a top winger.
Also, how good is it to see when a team gets a penalty against Man City, Man United, Chelsea, whoever, the player actually scored that.
Yeah.
When you have a team of quality, like
we haven't had that this season.
That's what I was saying. Like obviously. Isak wasn't there, so he was main penalty taker, but somebody else can step in and put that home. And I don't know if to see Cameron Archer just throw away 30 good minutes of football.
Evan Nilsson.
Or Evan Nilsson just throw away 30 minutes of good football and give all the momentum back to the other team.
Yeah, 100%. And Gordon's good on pens. He's taken pens before, but it's an interesting one. We'll see how City do. Like you said, they've got loads of quality, but we'll see what happens in the future.
City will still be, City will still be favourites in the league. They'll still be the top two teams in the league, regardless of what goes on. But I think it is more interesting for everybody that they dropped points this early into the Rodri injury.
That first game without Rodri. But we'll move it. The Saturday night football, Wolves versus Liverpool. In what I thought from what I saw was another good performance from Wolves.
Yeah.
It's just
we've been saying
they
this.
Can't get the result. They've had some tough fixtures, really tough fixtures.
I thought we had tough fixtures. But...
They're currently sat bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Without a win, but obviously I think the fixtures are a big part of that. And obviously when they have 1 point from 6 games or whatever, it's difficult to sit here and say it's another good performance, but they're genuinely doing all right.
In the right direction.
The problem is, and where like Wolves could find it a bit sticky, is that there's just a severe lack of quality all over the pitch in that Wolves team. Other than midfield they look to be all right.
Yeah, I agree. But they didn't really replace. Obviously, they didn't have much time, but they didn't really replace Neto with much quality. Like this, they brought on this Forbes guy who I was unsure of. Yeah, he seems quick, but I don't know if he knows what he's doing with his feet. The ball at his feet. Belgrade, he seems all right, man. Or he can take nice touches, but his decision making is also a little bit so sometimes. But I do think, I hope Wolves stay down with Gary O'Neill. I do think if they trust Gary O'Neill over the next 6 games, for example, who they have to be easier than the last 6 games.
Yeah, they should get a couple.
They should get a couple more wins. They should get a couple more points. They should start to get into 12, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just hope that they don't.
I don't
panic.
think they will. I don't think.
I just hope that they don't panic and get rid of Gary O'Neill, and now you're scrabbling to get.
No. They know what Gary O'Neill did last year. They know the financial problems they have. They haven't given him anyone to go and do something.
Who's that guy who used to manage Norwich?
Daniel Farker.
I know who that's who they're gonna get.
Yeah.
If they panic and get him out, they're gonna be scrambling.
That's relegation confirmed.
Exactly.
I don't think they'll do that. But on the Liverpool side of things, another good win for them. They made it difficult.
They did make it difficult.
But they got through it.
Also, I watched the game and I was like, when Wolves scored, I thought, okay, maybe. And then Wolves brought on this Tommy Doyle or whoever this guy is, and it was done from there. They lost all impetus. They lost all transition.
I was listening to it on the raid. They gave the penalty away straight after
40 seconds
after they scored.
40 seconds. But you're right, man. To focus on Liverpool. Liverpool, they made it tougher on themselves, but they kind of did play well. They showed they were about. Salah hit the post once or twice.
Yeah. He missed some good chances. Missed a good chance.
Yeah, Konate played well. Van Dijk, I thought, played well. There's some.
Konate, did he play well?
He won.
Can we say that?
Yeah. You know what? It was the kind of game that Van Dijk and Konate would love, for sure. Like they weren't really, even for all of Wolves' good play. It was great phase 1 build up. It was great like phase 2 build up. But as soon as it started to get
Konate assisted ain't Nuri though, no.
Yo, Konate on that. Do you know what? It is Konate's fault. But I was surprised to see Alisson apologizing to Konate. But I was like, yo, Konate he doesn't even know where the guy is. He has to get that out. 100%. But it just in terms of what they had to do in the game, bro, it was easy. He won all his headers, you know. Like, it was just like
I expect him to do that.
Yeah, it was just one of those games. You know, Trent wasn't really tested defensively like that. Good win for Liverpool, man, and they're top of the table.
Top of the table, yeah.
And they're top of the table.
From 6. I know Liverpool fans are thinking, if only we'd beat Forest at home.
Yeah. I mean, jury's still out on Liverpool. They're a good team. They're a top 3-4 team in the country.
They're the third best team.
Yeah, they are. I think they should be the third best team. I think they have the third best squad. I think all of these things. Yeah. But I also want to see Slot on a run that we've just had, or that you know, Ten Hag
tough away.
Yeah, like
because Liverpool have had some easy fix. They went to Old Trafford, but other than that, they've had what I would call some easy fixtures.
And we've just killed OT and Ten Hag. Like I want them to actually have like 2 or 3 top 6, and when I say top 6, I don't even mean necessarily the Man Uniteds and like like
they're coming up though.
Yeah,
they're coming up.
Go to Brighton or go to like Newcastle and this kind of guys.
I think they play Chelsea, us, Newcastle, and City in the space of a couple, maybe 6-7 weeks.
That's what I want to be. That's when I will start to say like what I truly think on Slot ceiling is. And
it's still very early.
And what can happen.
Yeah, I mean,
but for now,
they're doing what they can do. They're top of the league. And then the last game that I've got here to talk about, because we need to talk about this. Everton got their first win.
Yeah.
So always shout out Sean Dyche. I've always got time for Sean Dyche.
You said they're not going to go down.
Yeah. It's bank on that. McNeil brace.
2 good goals.
Yeah. The second one was a great goal. Unbelievable. That's X Factor.
I think, where's Sean Dyche, man? Where Sean Dyche is good is forming relationships with players 10 years ago and just squeezing everything out of that relationship,
and still seeing the fruits from that.
Yeah. Like,
but the even bigger point than Sean Dyche,
Crystal Palace,
is the manager in the opposite dugout.
Glasner,
we predicted it. Go back and watch our Premier League predictions video.
Game week 6 now, so they only have.
We said Glasner might not win the first 7.
He needs to win his next 3.
And next game Liverpool at home.
We said he might not get. I said he might not get, or he will only get 3 wins in the first 10 games, and they haven't won a game yet.
Yeah, in 6.
Yeah, so he needs.
And next up is Liverpool.
He needs 3 wins in a row. But I do think, like, Crystal Palace have been poor and all this kind of stuff, but I do think the buck has to stop somewhere. Like, we know what the Premier League is about. You're in a terrible run of form. It's all going wrong for you. Shipping goals, conceding goals, all this kind of stuff. And a 12.
No, I think you're saying that because they're playing Liverpool.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of me fan hope than anything else. But I do,
because the buck doesn't have to stop anywhere with Palace. It can just keep going.
I think the buck has got to stop somewhere, and I pray it's next week. Next week for Palace.
Yeah, we can't. But Glasner's making glaring mistakes. I told you on the weekend he still hasn't learned that Kamada can't play in a
2-man midfield. I think that's crazy, man.
Right, it cost him the game in game week 2 against West Ham. He brought Kamada on, put him in a 2, and it cost him the game. He's done it 3 or 4 times since then. Did it in the Man United game and they were bossed. He had Jefferson Lerma at centre back.
It's ridiculous.
He's making glaring mistakes that have to be fixed ASAP.
Yeah.
He can't go into the Liverpool game with Kamada in a midfield 2 and Lerma at centre back.
That's ridiculous.
But I can't tell you he won't do that.
I can't tell you that he won't do that. I don't understand why. One, they let Anderson, and it's not that because Anderson's gone that they're all of a sudden this terrible team, but you had a settled back four, and Anderson has made the most lateral move I've seen in football, and now you've disrupted your defense. You're not really finding the same stability that you were having. I'm seeing Nathaniel Klein slot in certain places, as you're saying. Jefferson Lerma's slotting in. You've done the back five thing. You've done the four at the back thing. You're mixing and matching. You're trying to find out who's going to partner Gahey and all this kind of stuff. And I don't know. I thought that, and it might not be his fault, Glasner, that Anderson's gone and all this kind of stuff, but I thought that there would have been a bit more of a plan.
Yeah.
From Crystal Palace. And I kind of like Everton, though, as much as they've had a poor start to the season, they won't go down.
And I haven't seen Palace's last couple of games, because at the start of the season, I was saying Palace are actually playing well. So I don't know what they've really been on.
United, they kind of should have lost that one. You know, we saw that.
Yeah. United, they didn't play well. I think. I mean, if you've gone to Goodison and you've gone 1-0 up and lost 2-1, like, how well can you have played? Like, so yeah, the performances seem to be going downhill, and Saturday's a big one because you go and lose again. That's 7 games now at the international break again. You still haven't won a game. There's not many teams, I think, left that haven't won a game, so that's a big one.
Yeah, I just managers and the positions they find themselves in.
Yeah,
like I think.
Remember Glasner's unbeaten streak?
I know.
Last year?
I find it crazy that Glasner could be the first to go, and I was saying that he wouldn't win first. Like he would only win 3 and 10, but I still didn't necessarily think he could be the first to go.
Yeah. Just didn't even. Palace fans were so happy with the appointment, and then I'm rightfully so. But yeah, look, it hasn't worked out so far. MVPs and rookies of the week. I've got Marco Silva.
Yeah, good win.
Obviously, we didn't talk about that game. It was just a 1-0 win, penalty, so not too much to talk about. But going away to Forest and winning, that's a tough place to go.
Fulham are in a good position, man.
Yeah.
Fulham are in a very good position. Marco Silva deserves his credit for sure. I've got Martinelli on my MVP thing. I've got Cole Palmer on my MVP things. I've got
Militao.
Yeah, great crash.
Yeah, good derby
from Eder Militao. I'll give Simeone an MVP as well, man.
Yep. Simeone could get one every week.
Yeah, still doing well to compete at that level. There was somebody else I was just thinking of for the MVP.
Michael Ealy. For just playing an absolute psycho.
Liam Delap.
Yes, good one.
Liam Delap will get an MVP from me, man. Those are 2 very well taken goals.
That was a cold step over.
Yeah. Those are 2 very well taken goals. Also, I was gonna say I'm giving an MVP to, apart from Southampton, but all the newly, and I guess I'll still give it to Southampton, all the newly promoted teams and managers. Because look at your face already.
I don't know. I mean, none of them have won a game, so I don't know.
I'm just giving them an MVP for not being slapped up by now. Like, none of them have lost 4, 5. Like, by this time, Sheffield United and, Luton, some of the teams we had seen last year had already shipped 12, 13, 14, 15 goals.
Ipswich and Leicester have done all right.
Like they've all right. As you say, they've not necessarily won games, but they've not been even Southampton not been slapped up. Had poor performances, been terrible. I think last season we was doing this stuff last season, and like it was coming in just every week. It was a 3-4-0 Sheffield loss to talk about.
The Burnley one.
Yeah. Burnley.
What are we gonna say now about Vincent Kompany? And they've conceded 3 goals playing out from the back again.
So they'll get it just for that, man. Just for
Leicester and Ipswich in particular.
Yeah.
For sure, they're playing some. They're a bit like Luton last year.
Yeah.
But rookies, I've got 2. Yeah. Firstly, Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
I think it's harsh. I don't think it's a red card. I think it's a yellow, but it's a stupid tackle.
Being the captain.
You've made that tackle because you're frustrated and whatever. And then you've thrown Maddison under the bus after the game and told him that Maddison said there wasn't a red card. Maddison as well, rookie of the week. He had a very good game on Old Trafford, but you went down holding your knee like you'd broken 2 bones in your leg.
That's matters.
Screaming, looked like you were crying, might need a stretcher. Bruno gets sent off, and
he's
walking Bruno off the pitch.
Is
James Maddison. come on, man, what are you doing? Have some respect. And secondly, Julian Lopetegui. You got to draw at Brentford. At the G-Tech, that's not a bad result in it of itself, but the rest of the results haven't been good. West Ham haven't been good.
We were saying, though, that he needed to win this. We were saying a draw wouldn't have been
good. Kudus is undoubtedly West Ham's best or second best player.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely their most creative.
Right? Or top three for sure. Paquetá, Bowen, and Kudus, right? Paquetá, Bowen, and Kudus. But Kudus, some guys could argue he's number one, right? And I personally wouldn't agree with it, but I don't think it's outrageous to say he's West Ham's best player.
Yeah.
Right? For Lopetegui to say that he hooked Kudus at halftime.
Say he's not a team player.
Not directly, but indirectly said he's not a team player, right? Said, we needed to make this substitution to work harder, or we needed to be more as together as a team, and all that kind of stuff. Like, he's sending a bit of a message to Kudus, which is cool, right? You want to do that. Arteta did that with Aubameyang, right? But it has to work. You have to get better.
I agree with what you're saying, but I don't think it will work.
No, it won't, because Kudus is, like I said, he could be West Ham's best player.
Yeah,
right? Right, but that's why I'm going to give Lopetegui a rookie, because I don't think it's going to work. And you don't want to be antagonizing.
It absolutely has to work. It absolutely has to work. There is bigger risk to take, like sidelining or Bowen or something like that. But the thing about Kudus is he came in last season and did well and was like Starboy. That's what they were calling him last season. Starboy for them. So for Lopetegui to come in, not win as many games as Moyes, and not blame it all on the Starboy, but say, you're partly to blame for this, and as you're saying, it has to work. Otherwise, the dressing room was saying, "Yeah, well, we're not playing with some of our better players." And like last season, this guy was scoring, 8 and 5, and all these goals and stuff that you wanted from him, all these goals and stuff that you want from us, from the team. He's the guy who's going to get them for us. He's the guy who's going to provide them for us. So if Guido Rodriguez doesn't step up, if Somerville doesn't start to become an absolute bad,
getting rid of James Ward-Prowse as well.
Yeah,
I know it's only on loan, but you brought Carlos Soler on at halftime, and it's not looking good, man. Nuno's using James Ward-Prowse like a sponge. You can't believe what he's got there.
Slotted in right next to Yates.
Exactly. Also, I've just checked we're recording this while Bournemouth are playing Southampton. And
3-0.
You were talking about promoted teams not holding 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
3-0 and it's not even half time yet.
Well, I take that back. This is finishing 4.
No, Ipswich and Leicester is valid. I think that's mainly who you were talking about.
Yeah.
But you got any rookies?
Man said Lewis Cook double assist. Yeah.
May as well give Ramsdale one now.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the goals, but
rookies of the week are gonna go to I was gonna give Trossard an MVP, but do you know what? After last week, this should have happened this week. He should have got 2 goals this week.
100%.
Theo Walker, we said we was going to give Theo Walker a rookie of the week.
Yes.
Theo's been talking.
Explain that one.
Theo? No one has done more revisioning on Theo's career than Theo Walker himself. Theo's talking like he was the Don Dada at Arsenal. He's calling Thierry and Dennis by their first names.
Like he was the Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, exactly.
Referred to himself as me as the ball carrier.
That one got me the most. This is what I used to do in situations like this. I used to win throw-ins up the pitch. You got to be doing. Shut up.
We're not rewriting history like that.
You used to win us throw-ins
talking
up the pitch
about
when we were 10 men down.
This Arsenal team scoring late goals. That was something that the Arsenal teams I used to play and used to do. Shut up, Theo. Shut up.
Theo will get a rookie from me for sure. Barca, they lost 4-2 to Osasuna.
Yeah.
That should not be happening, especially with the Madrid derby. It's kind of the reverse thing that happened to us. When you know your team has a tough fixture, bro, you just have to get your points.
Yeah,
you just have to get your 3 points and move on out of there as quickly as possible. I'll give Teo Hernandez as well. Oh, sorry, not an MVP, not a rookie, but an MVP.
Yeah,
I think he's had a good week. He's bounced back from all the criticisms.
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. I guess we should give
Andrich and Pavlovic.
Both
of them.
And both, screamers.
Yeah.
2 screamers in that game. I was also going to say
Harry Kane, rookie.
No goals.
Leverkusen, team not won the league last year. You played Leverkusen twice last year. No goals, no assists. First game back this season. This is the team that took the title off you. Big game. I need you to rise. Nothing.
No Kane. I'll give Antoine Griezmann MVP as well. Just retired from international football. I'll give him some love. I'm not even. I think Antoine Griezmann is a ridiculous football player.
Yeah.
Ridiculous football player. But I've been on record sort of saying he's a pretty big loser. Like for as talented as he is, I don't think he's ever won a league trophy.
Yeah, but he's got that World Cup.
That's what I was. So that's what I was coming around. I was coming around to say, because he's retired from international football, I'll give him his flowers, because not only does he have the World Cup, he was instrumental. He was instrumental, and not even just in that World Cup, like in the final for the Euros and the stuff that all the stuff that they've been through in the last 8 years of France, kind of, not dominance, but succession.
Yeah, he's been a major.
He's been a major part of that. Even with my hater cap on, I can admit that he's been ridiculous for them. So I'll give Antoine Griezmann some love on the day he retired from international football.
I think that's it. I think that's everyone. So thank you guys for listening. We did have a bit of a longer episode today. I'll see how much of the Tuchel stuff I end up.
It stays in there.
Because somehow we started with saying we're going to cook Ten Hag, and we started arguing about Tuchel. But look, that sometimes happens on the podcast, so we'll see. But hopefully you guys enjoy it. And like Michael said, let us know what you think about Man United. Does Ten Hag need to go?
When would you sack him?
Yeah,
all of
who should come in? All of that.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this, you made it to the end. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, and we'll see you next week. Peace.